Let's get started today. We were a little bit late setting into our market analysis. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's session. We're going to have about half an hour to take a look at some of these indices and some of these stocks that we've been following. And if you get a chance, like us, share us, and continue to follow us. And let's dive right into it. It's almost 10:30. So the market, the S&P look is posting a 913.9 today, which means that we are probably looking at some topping scenarios in the short term, at the very least, where there's at least a pause. So 913.9, this is a sell setup that's finishing. So there are a few ways where obviously it can happen. This is a bit of a change in direction recently. The last time I had a 9 back in February. And this is the start of the reason why this is different in the beginning is this is the start of that setup. So 9, then you had a continuation and the countdown, and then followed by another sell setup, and that in turn exhausted itself. Now this could also be counted as 913 and another 9, where at the very least I think we can see a bit of pause in the short term, and that is to be expected or to be anticipated. If you've been investing for trading for the last few months, then it's really not a bad place to take profits either. If you're an S&P trader, each stock reacts differently than the market, so I think you should take heed of that as well. Now, as far as the weekly, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is just the 4 on the weekly, so therefore it's still within the countdown as well. So I think it's important to know the longer term trend is still good. So any type of pause like this or sideways move should be considered as digestion. Again, the MACD is coming down a little bit here, even though price made a little bit of a new high. So these are areas to note. For example, here, even though we're printing 913.9, came down, we didn't have a deterioration of MACD until this last 9. So remember, we're using both technicals, price, and including timing to help us identify these areas of exhaustion. And take a quick look at NBEV. This is a stock we've been mentioning at least a couple times with the rest of the pot stocks. They just had a deal with Walmart and surged 38% yesterday. The 200 moving average acted as a real good support like this. I think we've been discussing how that is a good place for support, and obviously with a deal that came in that bode well. So if you're looking to swing trade the stock, I think it's a good place to have it here. After pulling back a little bit here, technically, set something up above 6.25. 575 could be a downside if you want to swing trade it. Alright, so let's change it to green. I like it here. And that's this 5. Went down a couple times now. This is really holding support down here. 555. Only. Above the 10, which is a 10-hour moving average. Stock looks pretty good. Especially after a gap up, we can try to hold that and use that as our first base, quite frankly. So it might be too early to look at it here, but moving average, so this can come down more. We'll see how this one develops. Even though the 50-day moving average should act as support, so I do like this company. I think it's worth a shot. Obviously, nothing is guaranteed, and I think quick shot over here, the stock above today's gap lower, it's about 6.25. And I think if we can penetrate that, this stock could continue to follow up. So there should be a major resistance, a couple of resistance here, and once it goes through that, then we can try to capture this trend that started a while back, but this is a nice W formation. 1, 2, 3, double bottom to the 200. There's obviously some places to trade the stock, which is exactly there. So I close above this 6.25. Above that would be confident of closing above the trend line, and that could be a good place to springboard for the next leg. And place of resistance or 775. First line of resistance, and then back to the all-time high, about $10. 9.5. So those are good places to try and trade the stock. Let's see how this hour finishes to see if this is support. But if it breaks through above this gap, that bodes well for the longs. I mean, this is a very powerful move that shouldn't be discounted. So, and take a look at Lyft. After it broke this channel, initially found support at the gap when it printed 913.9 on a 5-minute, but it was too weak, and after that, it just collapsed to where it is now. So that's why if you were a trader, raising a stop loss, somewhere where it's meaningful, where you minimize your risk, key. So even if it's a loser, it's really minimized. You see where all some of these exhaustion points come in. The time end price that we drew are pretty solid, and that's what it gives you. A bit more of another dimension, so to speak, to look at a stock, not just with price, but also with exhaustion points. And we see the real battles. So again, let's go back to the indices. Same thing with the NASDAQ. There are support resistance levels right around here, and then 913 is printing against it. So these are things to just keep in mind. You can get a blow off top try to print it in the next few days. But I think for the most part, consolidation area would be a good place to look for opportunities again. And stocks here is MK retaining some support here, $17 level. The 16 and change would be from an intraday perspective. If you didn't sell anything here, at least half of it, at least raising a stop loss order should be considered. One area of support is 16 and a quarter, really right around this area. 16.20. If you have that much leeway, if you sold some, and you just want to make sure you have at least a break even, this is one good support, 16 and a quarter. All right, that's going to coincide with 200, but I think that this is also a place to watch out for. If you haven't taken any profits yet and you just want to book some decent profit, below 17 bucks could be a stop loss. Right here, this is a good support area. So if you haven't taken any profits, and you should, at the very least, this could be a half or a third of whatever you have that you want to get rid of, and you can maintain other support areas. And raise the stop loss for the rest of your shares. Upwork, as you can see from an hourly standpoint here, that after kind of rallying, and look at the hourly, it hit some 200-day moving average on the daily as well as the hourly. So it's natural to see it back off once again. I would like to see it continue to go lower, and some of the rest of these other stocks that failed from a swing standpoint. This looks okay, though this should be the ultimate support around 2.5, just because this is the last buy setup, and getting above that is important. 250, if you get past 250, I think if you want to reestablish, is what we talked about before. It still has some support here above 250, 270, and it gets above that. If you want to retrade it, some of you guys who are looking for swing trades, I've done this many times where I got out, go back in, whatever the emotion is, because this could be a reverse head and shoulder, right around the gap, right around our support, so there's a little bit of a giveaway. Just want to be crushed. That's the whole idea of it. So now that you can re-enter it from here, doesn't matter if you miss out here a little bit, but if you can catch a little bit on the upside from 270, 271, back to at least 3.25, that still looks like it can happen. As we finish the setup on the hourly, and then on the daily, something about the 10-day moving average, which is right on the top of this little double bottom, so to speak, before it turned around. So those are possible places where the stock could hold. We are continuing to get pressed into the 50-day moving average. XO, ECB all look like they don't have enough strength yet to get to the next level. So still digesting recent gains and retracing back a little bit. Let's see where they all finally finish coming off. Levi still trying to find its place here again. I think if this can get below 21 and change, this should go much lower. We're giving it a little bit of space here for it to bounce back. Naturally, you're going to see a little bit of symmetrical moves, and so it's not surprising to get a little bit of support here, but that's not. It doesn't seem to be a strong support. So that feels one more time. I think that would be really confirming that this low has finally really been broken, and make sure to attract new sellers. So from an hourly, that's what you could read for. On a daily, same thing. Past this, then you can wait at least 3 more days, and again, 18.5 is what we're looking for on the short side. There, and see. Let's see. Again, it's looking mighty good, and now it's pulling back after breaking this pennant. Make a more better drawn pennant lines, trend lines. So let's look at the hourly of the stock. Sitting above this 200 hour moving average, and serving as a double bottom. Overall trend still looks positive. Now we're seeing that this could be a more of a drawn out pennant. So right around the 9, up to down here, as long as the stock is right around the 9 is a good buy. 65, 67, right around there is not bad. Turn to 1, will be right around here anyways. Within here, 8, 2, yep, 61 just to be safe. Will be good support. But tail off it has to do a little bit of that, but so it could be continued sideways move until we fill out one of these support resistance levels. So if the stock feels this pattern, this pennant pattern, then we're going to look somewhere around the 65 area first, and around this area, right around the gap. So they should be right around here. So fail below 66 and change, then it could probably swiftly come down to this level, 63, $61 level. So then they'll break that. We'll have a longer term sideways move, which would be a big box here. So break above this would really much better scenario, above 69. Because I'll break the pennant on the upside. Again, this could be, if you want to buy 66 and wait for that to come down. If you're going to trade it from this pennant though, this would be your support level. Okay, so if you're trading this pennant, it should be support level breaks really this part, your 65, you're out. So if you're going to buy it right around now, 67, 66 and change, obviously you'll break this pattern, and then this would be the next support you don't want to break, 66 area. So it breaks that. If it breaks that, you should get out, risking $1. Okay, and then you can try to reposition anywhere from 6, lower here on this area. That's why it's much simpler to buy it if it breaks above, because at that point we can talk about how the continuation setup is gonna work out instead of trying to buy back in a dip. But again, there is places where you can buy it at 67 for a quick $1 profit, and you get to 69. You got to sell some, so that's 2 to 1. So if you're gonna buy it here, this is your buy. Obviously, you don't have to buy exactly 66.80. I mean, that's right around a good price, but if you're gonna buy it right around this area, let's just say, okay, you buy right now at $67 and change. If you're trying to buy the bottom of this setup, of this pennant, so if you buy it here, if you get lucky at 66.70, that's fine. I mean, sorry, 66.80, 66.90, that's fine. But ultimately, it should hold this, and if it doesn't, then the exit should be $66. With that, it shouldn't even move below 66.30. So $66 should be a good place where you're taking a dollar risk, $1.20, to make at least 67, 68, 69 and a half up here, 2.5 to scale some out of your position. If you're that type of trader, using the pattern here and using the count, and then you can also get back to ultimately the $72 level. So playing for that type of move, still getting 2 to 3 times your risk to reward. If you're playing options and that's something that you can get a quick pop out of the option, then that also should give you a big upside, because once it breaks through here, it looks like this is a very easily achievable area of resistance, 71 and change, and after that it can move again more decisively for a day or two, such as this. overall, as a longer term investor, I like the stock anywhere around here, from 67 all the way down to, really 67 to this gap, 61. There's a good place to position if it's not breaking out on a dip. Right around this area could be a good place to buy. 50-day moving average. If you're towards the long term. Right, so the market's down 200. The S&P, like we said, is at 9. Nasdaq same way. Let's look at the Dow. Okay, so the Dow was a little bit early when it started to turn. Penetrating above this is a good thing. There's a little bit of overshoot, so a little bit of a backup area before we can start anew. The same thing, countered. The count is resetting. Same deal here. The VIX, so that's going higher. So again, these are just points of area we can see a bit of part of the current upside. There's a HUYA, so that's not a surprise. Again, that's why you put if you were to buy here, the green line, you gotta have some sell areas here. Take advantage of some news that you can't see. Keep you being profitable in a trade. All right, so MDEV continues to sell off here. Look, so it might be another point here. 550 is support as well. And let's see where it is. It has not crossed above that yet. Still trying to find the bottom here. If this breaks before it hits this, then obviously we have to wait for it to come back down to a more proper support level. For example, down here with price and with timing at 9 could be a good place to look at it again. And we can adjust the buy setup lower. Let's see if that holds. Just an interesting standpoint because now there's a catalyst that could push the stock technically higher, such as over here. We put stop loss orders in case it fails. PST, back to the 200 with the average right on here. So good. This is our support area. Even though there's no buy setup here, with the rules, obviously this is close to this one is what we want to buy. Having a buy setup here kind of just gives it a double confirm, but even without it, especially with price confirmation right around the 200, there should be good support there, and it's a place where I could easily see an entry for you guys that are interested in the stock. All right, so that's pretty much it. Let's round it up with the VIX popping. And that's a good sense in 10-year index. All right, taking a little bit of a breather, and we'll see how that one works out in the next few days. All right, so that's pretty much it. Again, thanks for watching us, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.